run lined up for today. We had a little run yesterday and the day before yesterday. Stupid. Quiet fool. Yeah, you can see here. I have the game running in the background, so it's not me getting globals. It is someone else standing here crafting. I'm just getting the last things lined up here. I need to get the music as well. But yeah, I will definitely encourage you to go on Twitch and follow me there and watch me there, because that is the place that I interact with when I am live. I obviously have the YouTube chat up as well, but it is mainly to just catch up and see what's going on over there on YouTube. But my reason for streaming on YouTube is mainly to save the videos there. I've started putting in point of interests into the videos, which means that if we hit a global or if we hit a HOF or something, I put in a little link in the first comment where I put the sorry, I'm just getting prepared on the laptop here to get the chat up, where I put all kind of stuff that might be interesting. If we have an interesting chat on what goes on in the general community of Entropia universe, if we talk about some old incidents, some scamming that went on, or exploiting, or if there's some talk about the loot engine and stuff like that, I try to put in markers so you can quickly find them and navigate through the videos. So the replay value of the videos is increased a bit, so it's easier for you to find whatever was interesting on that stream. So yeah, I will recommend taking a look over on Entropia. It's all there, as you can see here. Let's say we take this one, I believe it was. Then point of interest here, power bankroll, and it should jump directly to that. You can see what we talk about there. So yeah, making it a bit easier to find whatever knowledge is interesting within the stream. But I'm just gonna bring you over to Entropia here. Gotta put on a little music. First I need to make sure the volume is right. For you out there who, if anyone has joined the stream yet, there are someone here, welcome. If there's problem with the with my voice, if it's suddenly being very low, please let me know and I'll try and adjust. I did watch the video from yesterday back and I couldn't really figure out why suddenly my voice became so low. In the video there wasn't any, it wasn't low, but I listened to the stream live and suddenly my voice was pretty much almost unhearable. You couldn't hear my voice suddenly. So I don't really know what's going on. But if it happens again, please let me know so I can fix it. But yeah, there goes music. I prepared a run here. It was approximately 1190 pet. I don't think I will have the time today for the full run, but I will do as much of it as I can. First thing I need to do is craft a few level 3 amplifiers. We need level 2 amplifiers, we need 3 of them. To prepare for next, we need some basic sheet metal. I need to make some more of that. Oh my god, stop, don't. I'm such a noob. That almost went very wrong. Wow, we're really having 10 clicks with... Yeah, well, it's a lot more clicks. It's 10 so far. We have 2. We just need 1 more. Oh, that was free. I will put it in stores if it's a success. It was. Well, now we need to click 1 more. Yeah, success. Might just make this run done. Finished. If the success rate is there, we've got to roll with it. Oh, that was very nice actually. So 5 successes on 10 clicks. I'll just shove them in here, 2 of them, because I only need to have 3 in my inventory, otherwise it's all gonna be a big mess here. I need to make some more sheet metal. I'm gonna run through the Garson and, well, basically gonna run through Chinook Jungle first and see if we can find some Rugorites or some... oh, I need to get the bombs replenished. Our Blausorium sold, so our general state of the pet card is pretty good. Normally just use the set 20 finder in this area, but I will mix in a couple drops with the L30 to see if we can squeeze out some Chiphonic steam. Now this is probably one of the most mined areas of Entropia, so I don't need much of an indication that someone else has mined it here before I leave. And one of the indications obviously is hitting only Belcar and Magirian, and if on top of that our hit rate is really bad, yeah, I don't even need to see another avatar here to kind of come to the conclusion that someone else has mined it. I seem to have a toad in my throat. My mom just called me. I was about to go online here at 10 o'clock, which is 9 o'clock EU time. But then my mom called me and talked my ear off for half an hour. That's a big colorite. Just checking that everything is okay here on the stream, it seems to be. So yesterday's run was bad. It was really bad. It was approximately 600 pet. turnover, and we lost 91 pet. Yeah, well, we kind of knew that already yesterday. We didn't find anything interesting. It was all Nigerian, it was all Belcar. We only got one Sandarium stone, and yeah, it was a brutal day yesterday. We had Star Tracer in here on stream. He was mining almost the same area as us, and he had the same. So the general state of the universe was just very bad yesterday. So when it's like that, you can't really do much. Just scale down, take it easy, and get through it. Take a break. Don't overdo it. You will get wrecked. I'm working too much these days. I won't for the rest of the week. I think I might be off Sunday. Yeah, I don't have anything on Sunday. So otherwise it will be these streams here, 2-hour streams in the morning. Because I got stuff to do all afternoon and I have engagements in the evening and stuff. So I don't have much time to stream, unfortunately. I will get as much in because I really want to mine. But on Sunday we gotta really kick it. Because I got the whole day off on Sunday. I don't have anything in my calendar. Might go to the stadium to watch some soccer, but that's about it. But if mining is good, that will get cancelled as well. So it seems like we're continuing today from where we left yesterday. It's Belcar and Nigerian Mist. You know what, I like the other mix better. That one did have a lot of vocal in it, and there's a good chance that they'll hit me. Oh, there we go, 2 red light stones, good times. There's a good chance I'm gonna get hit by a copyright claim or something when there's a lot of vocal in it. So claim sizes are decent. It's funny, I have a, what is it called, a GTX TI something graphic card. It's 1000 something, and it's not the highest end graphic card, but it's a pretty decent graphic card, and I just think the graphics look a lot better on other streams. I don't know why. Yeah, I have all my settings on max, I believe. Don't I? Is there a very high? Oh no, why did you drop? I didn't click any button. What's up with the lag here? That might be too much actually. I'll just try it out a little more if he continues to go slow here. So we got a find there. I was pretty lucky. That might be why actually, because it was not on very high. I'll see if this helps and if my computer can take it. There seems to be Garson that is coming as the only thing really with markup. And of course that single red light claim. Oh, Messi's out there killing stuff. Hit rate seemed decent. Seems decent, at least. As I said in the beginning there, I started putting on points of interest in my videos on YouTube. If any of you should watch something on stream or clip something, I will of course also go through those clips and put them on as point of interest. I will of course credit you accordingly if you put in there on your clip, because I think it's kind of important. People are not going to watch the entire stream back, but I think it can provide some vital information if we find some kind of rare ore, or we have some kind of special thing going on in the stream, some kind of special chat that you find interesting, that you might think other people would benefit from listening to. Please let me know. I got a notepad here next to me, and I will write it down as well to try and make it as easy as possible to navigate through the vast information that actually such a stream creates. This is a game of information, this is a game of knowledge, so whatever we can share and get out there helps. So we gain approximately a level or two every stream, up a level, a percent or two every stream. So at that level, 365 days in a year, we should be able to use the Cougar Finder in about 10 months. Yeah, it takes time. What is that? It's 2% a day, 300 days, 600%. So that's 6 skill levels, yes. We're quite close to finishing our, probably should track that Force Nexus mission here. They obviously gonna give us some surveying skills. Obviously not at this low level, but in the future. When we get to level 4, when we finish that one, it's getting decent amount here. Getting 30 pet of surveying will help us a lot. Obviously it's not gonna like propel us into anything massive, but it's definitely gonna give a nice boost. So we might be able to do it in less than 6 months. If we're lucky, if we get enough of the missions done, that is. I would say like that 10,000 point mission for, let's say, Blausarium, we find a decent amount of that because we mine Sandarium. So we get Blaus as a byproduct there. It is a little different with obviously probably next time I should take the Magirian Mist mission, because we might not always this game does change, so you do some, depending on the market, mine different fields, so I probably need to get that Magirian spray mission going as soon as possible. So once we finish this Force Nexus one here, I'll probably take the Magirian spray. If I can. I know there's some restrictions that I need to finish certain missions before I can get Magirian spray one, but we'll see if we can take it. This might be the last slice of this area. I'm not impressed right now. We're not getting sufficient markup to really warrant running through this area with a level 5 amplifier. A reason for dropping so much with the L30 was because it is preamped a little, and this can be a good area. But yeah, we probably should stick to the Z20 there. It is better for cave sap. Is that a stone? No. So I just, yeah, it seemed to have brightened up a bit this area, but we'll see how it goes. I need to pour myself another cup of coffee. So cave sap really means a lot for the overall state of the run. Of course, it has 160 markup. It means a lot. So we're gonna continue. Finding 2 claims of cave sap so far is pretty good. See if we can get a bit more. this wasn't the playlist from yesterday. I'll just quickly see if I can find the playlist from yesterday. It was really good. Oh, yeah. Hang on. I need to get this sorted. I'm horrible at multitasking these kind of things. History here. Where's my listening history? There we go. I think this was it. I'm not sure though. Oh, we got a new level in extraction. 6K. Didn't even notice. Might have been when I drilled out that Force Nexus yesterday night. My god, I can't wait to move. I'm moving next month. I'm sick and tired of this place now. There's a big road. They built a big road right next door here, and oh my god, it's horrible. A level 2 amplifier on this thing. Thought I detached that. Guess it was one that was on from yesterday. I'll explain why we hit a small red light. I don't really want to go with the amplifier because I want to find Rugerits if it's there as well. And that is a lot harder to find with a level 2 amplifier than an amp. A little too funny. There's one more. No, there's not. You used to be able to see who hit these things, see who owns that drill tower. Doesn't seem like it's possible anymore. It's none of these. As it was Magirian Mist. No, I can't interact. The drill tower is 4K, more than 4K. So if you get a loot from mining that is higher than 4000 pet, you get a drill tower that drills it out. You do get the skills, but I don't know if it's as many skills as you would by manually drilling it. So when you get the resources out of that tower, you get some skill gains as well. You get pretty good skill gains. So has someone been here, or we might jump? I'm just looking for that gas and grease there. Neighbors now, they're building an apartment block next door here as well, so I know I'm not supposed to whine, but I try to keep whining out of this stream here, but man, it is doing my fucking head in. And the council forgot to notify us, so actually we didn't know. Suddenly we knew that they had put out a zoning application, a zoning hearing that they might build there, but then suddenly they just pulled in the heavy machinery and started building. And then a week after, we got notice from the council, oh yeah, by the way, they're building an apartment block next door. It's like, what kind of Mickey Mouse circus is this? No, we're gonna jump. It didn't look like it was some kind of huff or anything, so it might just be someone who missed the claim. I don't know how much of it you can hear, but they just ran some kind of stumper thing on. Yeah. Can't wait to get out of here. It's gonna be nice. There used to be forest right next door, and like this open piece of like land where there was a few trees and stuff, and some deer came out, and that is the piece of land they're just building on right now. So that's gone, and they put forest. Like I mountain bike, so I used to be just 100 meters down south, and I was in the woods, and that's where they built a road now. So yeah, this place is completely ruined now. To me, to in the apartment block I live in, at least. Hey, the interest, how you doing? I hope you're well. Good to see you. I'm gonna call you the interest here, out of courtesy to the stream, because I know Joe Pet Hunter Smith in game, but as we get progress and when we interact, it's gonna be quite hard to follow in case you don't know who you are. Might become a bit like an inside knowledge thing, knowing your Pet Hunter Smith. No problem at all. Cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's I wouldn't say a dead area, but it's not amazing. So we need the good locks. So we did get some cave sap. We seem to be finding a bit of cave sap here. That's important. It's really one of the matters that carry us through the run here. 20% skill increase. How am I liking the Terra 8 Finder? I love it. It seems to be better than the VRX 3K as well, because it has lower decay. I know it seems like the VRX at this point has higher markup. I think that might just be because it's a rare finder these days. There's not that many blueprints of it out there. It might take resources that are more expensive, but comparing the TerraMaster 8 to the VRX, if I was to choose one of them, without looking at price as well, just looking at them as equal quantities, I could pick one off a table. Of those two, I would pick the TerraMaster 8 because it has less decay. Search is at the same average search depth, both at 1000 meters. I do have another VRX 3K finder in storage, only with 10 pet on it. It's hit by that bug, so I'm not allowed to sell it. It says it's untradeable. It's a bug in game that if something tears up or something happens to that finder, it won't allow you to sell it. They said they will fix the bug with the next patch. So that's my main reason for having it. I had two of them and sold the other one because markup was a lot higher and I could get this TerraMaster 8 at 122%, so I thought it was a pretty good deal. No problem, anytime. I believe the VRX has like 5 point something decay per drop, and the TerraMaster 8 has 4.8, so it's less. It's more eco to use. TerraMaster 7, yeah, my guess is it's a lot similar to the 8, isn't it? Probably like 920, 50-ish meters. I don't have one. I was thinking about buying the TerraMaster 4 to cover the 600 meter range as average search depth, but I ended up going with the E-Mine FS because I could get that a lot lower percent and it has less decay. I don't have anything really at 900 meters average search depth. The closest I have is the DSEG L30 finder, which has 820. Yeah, that's a decent finder as well. It comes preamp though. This is cool. I use it mainly for in matter. You can hit deeper treasure with it over the 8. But only, oh, you're maxed on all 3 resources. Yeah, that's also why I use the DSEG L30 finder and the TK20 for in matter. Simply because I max it out. I don't max out the TerraMaster 8 for in matters. And when it comes to treasures, I have absolutely no skills. I never mind treasures except for recreational. So yeah, I only have 574 meters average search depth. And treasures, I got absolutely nothing. I don't even know what I have in treasure finding. Treasure, yeah, I'm 31. It's basically, I have no skills. It's basically just my other skills that crisscross. Is this artifact preservation and treasure sense? I believe that's the general skills. And then this one, archaeological lore, unlocks at level 30 treasure finder, I believe it is. Or is it precision artifact? No, that's the extraction one, yeah. I see I hit 5k skills in miner. Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, I did, yeah. Thank you. Even notice. Yeah. Actually, that one went up really fast after. I think it unlocks at level 50. Level 50 survey or something, and it went up really fast because you gain it from extraction as well. Yeah, you gain it when extracting ores. So it's one that actually, it's one of the very rare skills that affect both surveying and prospecting and mining and extracting. How are you doing in Entropia Universe these days? You took a break early today. You logged out after we just chat quickly when I logged in. So I guess it has been dry for you. Yeah, you had a shocking mining on your shocking mine run, so you ran off to cry in a corner. Yeah, that was how our run was yesterday, and I wouldn't be surprised if it continues today. It normally lasts for a few days, but you did the right thing running off. I'm not sure about the whole crying thing though, but I see your point. But yeah, this game can make you do that. Fortunately, on that really bad run we had yesterday and the day before that, we created approximately 110% average markup on our spending, so that's really good. Actually, it was 111%, and that really carries it a long way. Obviously, it isn't enough to give you a profit, but on average it shows that you're doing the right thing. I really gotta focus on that. And then the universe does what the universe does. You're gonna head out to a local cafe. That sounds really good. The weather is lovely here. Unfortunately, it's a bit windy. But that's what you want to do when the game is bad. Yeah, the markup does make up a bit of a loss, but it's also important to because if you do it right when it's bad, that means you're also doing it right when it's good. You just need to do it right all the time, and then just the loot will come, basically. So even though it's bad, you can't change your playstyle much. Of course, you need to scale down, not turn over as much to decrease variance, but it's important that you don't panic and start going other places. You go into a lust field, maybe that's what you need to do because to get loot and stuff like that. It won't change. You need to focus and stay in the areas that give good markup all the time, even though it's bad. Not panic and run out and do other things, because then suddenly you will start doing really bad. was just checking if we found any out of the ordinary. I normally miss out of the ordinary claims that come up here. You guys are quite good. You've discovered them a few times. We got in boxes, but I normally miss them up here. And so I was just checking to see if there was a strong box or something in our inventory, or something that we shouldn't have drilled. Eye to Eye, a former society mate of mine. Oh, well, he's still a society mate of mine, actually. He's just not very active these days. He looted 2 unlimited amplifiers, a level 3 and a level... No, it was a level 2. No, it was a level 3 and a level 1. No, a level 2 and a level 3 unlimited amplifier. That was what he looted. A level 2 and a limited 3. And he got him in out of the ordinary, and he didn't notice that he got him. He was just doing his mining runs as he usually was. And then when he got back, he was gonna TT. Back then, amplifiers had markup on them, and he just, as usual, but when they burned down, they normally had 1 drop left. They removed that feature today, so you can use your amplifiers all the way down to 0. Back then, they had like a level 2 amplifier would have 2 pattern on them, and level 2 amplifiers was one of those amplifiers he was using regularly. So he just came back and put all his empty quote unquote amplifiers in the trade terminal, and was about to trade to TT them. And then suddenly he saw, wait a minute, there's no L in front of this one, there's no L in this one, what's going on here? And he checked. So he nearly just TT'd the amplifiers, the unlimited amplifiers he looted, because he didn't notice it. Yeah, it was quite a funny story. So, and he told it in chat then, say, oh my god, yeah, because it came as a HOF, and I don't know, it obviously came as a HOF as rare items. I don't know I can't remember the whole thing there, but he nearly TT'd them anyways. And yeah, it was a funny story. So after that, I always like check here, see if there's anything going on once in a while, see if I got lucky, and I didn't notice it. It was an extremely close call. It was quite funny. So my reason for continuing here, even though the claim rate is not really good, is because the proportions of our matters are quite good. Markup wise, it's we loot more than 50% with good markup. So it is worth continuing. When it comes to ore, obviously we're not doing very well, but we are mining on AMP, so we don't need much to profit. Those 2 here actually carries us a long way. What a close call! Yeah, it was amazing. He's a really nice guy. So yeah, I'm really happy for him. Very well deserved. There wasn't at that time. I don't think there was many people in the universe that was more dedicated to mining than him. You presume I have regular buyers other than auction? No, I don't. I used to. Obviously, in our society there was Ruthless and Cedar Demo. I don't know if you know him. He was the guy who owned the Dante blueprint back when there was only 1 or 2 of them in game. So there was him and Akatuma were the only ones in game who were able to create the Dante. And Snake Slither Hellfire when this is in our society. I was in society with Buzz Lightyear. Obviously when I was in a society like that, they picked up a lot once in a while. But these days I just sell on auction. I think that's a completely viable way of doing it. That is also very often the way you get the best percent. I used to have a guy, a dunk guy, a guy when once in a while I cleaned out my storage just to like reset, and I sold all, in my storage, you've seen it several times, there's a lot of various ores. Then I have a 50 pet of copper and 50 pet of calderite stuff I don't really mine on a regular basis. I have a few ceramite stones and maybe a tridonite stone or stuff like that I find. So I used to have a guy that I went to maybe once every 2 months, and I just dump it all on him and say, okay, what can I get for this? And then get the storage cleaned out and start fresh to free up some pet. Just gonna turn up the music just a little. I kind of like these disco beats. How about you, the interest? What kind of bankroll are you having, if it's not too personal to ask? You hunt quite a lot and you mine, you're very active in the universe, you're on a pretty high level. What kind of money do you have in storage? Like how much do you have to save up stuff to sell, like output amplifiers and Nova fragments, bones and enhancers and all that stuff you loot as a hunter? Do you save all that or do you just sell it each time? Hey Gigsa, how you doing, man? I hope you're well. It is as you go these days. Your bankroll is normally around 1500 pets, so you sell it. Yeah. I can easily relate to that. It's a rough life. It's amazing how you have been able to grind up to the skills you have. With the gear you did. Like it's so much dedication. I don't know anyone else who's been able to do that. You're eating pancakes with Nutella, Gigsa, while skilling exposure projectiles 1 on quantity. PV is 100 QR though, so it's like 1,000 clicks per 20 pet. Oh, that's manageable. Variance isn't gonna be too brutal there then. Yeah, you only try to stash up the major markup stuff. Yeah, that's the right way of going about it. Identify where is the biggest benefit of saving. That was why it was so nice when we hit that 1K Blauserium Huff. It really allows us to save up some more stuff. I'll probably consider starting to save up. Like I started saving calderite and some of the other stuff that I would normally just put into trade terminal because markup was too low. But we can save up 300 pet of that now. So I don't think really. No, Belcar still isn't really worth it. But we might. Actually, I might start saving Belcar because we get so much of it, so we cycle it quite fast. Yeah, good luck, Gixer, man. I hope you hit something nice. Oh, I haven't... Oh, try using exclamation mark roll, Gixer. I haven't updated the bankroll command. That's a mistake on my side. I'll just do that right now. That's simply... I simply missed it. It's because there's 2 bankroll commands to make it more intuitive. There we go. It's updated. Amazing progress. That helped a lot too, but was well deserved. Thank you very much, Geek. So yeah, it did help a lot. We obviously were still making pets before that one, but it definitely really boosts, really propels off the profit, kicks us off the ground. Obviously, with more pet at our disposal, we'll be able to make even more pet. It's expensive being broke, basically. Explosive projectiles, believe E1 is just for skilling. I think the global chance is very slim on that, but the return is alright, yeah. Yeah, blueprint 1, yeah. It is hard to global on it. Obviously it's possible to get minis and stuff, but the good thing is you won't expose yourself to as much variance as if you went higher. You're pretty sure to run pretty even on it. So even though return-wise, I do believe we are running below expected, we are doing well. I know it sounds weird that we are technically losing pets, but our average markup is really high. So if the loot algorithm at some point changes and we start getting compensated, we will start making a lot of pets. Just make us coffee. That reminds me, I'll pour myself another cup and then I think I'm done. That's the 3 cups I needed. I can definitely see why. Can't wait to go out. And if the weather is as good as in the UK as it is here, it's definitely something to look forward to, getting out a bit. But you need to get your swirl fix. Yeah, we all want those once in a while. There are periods, it might not be as bad as before because the variance isn't as high as it used to be, but I remember, because I've always done a lot of on-amp mining and low amps mining to really enhance my returns. And there used to be really long periods of time where you just don't get any swirls. And you get really, oh my god, am I doing something wrong here? What's going on? But it's just the way it works. The problem is if I start to get desperate, I really want those swirls, start pushing for them, that's when I really started to lose a lot of money. Well, we are using a level 5 amplifier, so if there's any swirls in the ground, we will hit them. Just an ample will make us global, so you agree you used level 13s here and there chasing the swirls but got hurt on the pet card. Yeah, I've done the same. Yeah, that I personally see absolutely no way you can make money with a level 13 amplifier. It is for the lulz. There are no steady way that you can return average profit using those amplifiers. There's no place you can mine a ore or a matter that has enough markup to compensate you for the 122% you pay on it. Now the closest you might get is this area here, because it has cave sap that is technically possible to hit something big with. You have Teutonic Steam and you have gas and lubricant, but still I just don't think it's possible. I think it would be hard even to do with level 8 amplifiers. Hey, the Unikit. Hope you're well, man. Haven't seen you streaming lately. I was just thinking that actually. Oh yeah, now I remember with eye to eye, why he didn't notice that he got the huff thingy there when he found the unlimited amplifiers. I think it was because back then you got a lot of huffs, like especially us miners using higher tier tools. Back then you got a huff if, let's say, I was one of the few who got a Terra Master to tier 8. That would give you a huff because you reached a new highest tier level ever to reach for that item. And we got a lot of those in different tools. And I think that was because he thought it was one of those, like, you basically just stopped paying attention to huffs. They were completely inflated. You were hitting them so often on completely irrelevant things. Oh, we got a bit of red light here, so we got one ingot. You only had one small one global on red light? Yeah. Red light is hard to global. I don't know if it's harder than it used to be. I actually think my highest loot of red light is like 666 pets. But it's a long time ago. You globed a lot more. And that was with a level 5 amplifier. Yeah, it is possible. Especially with a level 5 amplifier, you can hit it if it's there, but you can't find what is not there. So even though you're trying to use big amplifiers, you might just get disappointed. Skill boost, 26% mining. Oh, can I get to that? Oh no! Ah, it's a summon. Damn it. Let me just stand around here for 30 seconds. That's really annoying. Just send all this stuff to storage. You summoned a huff back in the days from the middle of a Despotar Dome. Yeah, that was actually a pretty sweet trick there. Because you sometimes got killed by some stuff that was too big to handle. I don't know if there was a next to turret so you can drill it in peace. I don't know if it was like a limit on for how far away you could summon flames. I don't remember there being that many restrictions, at least on summoning. I guess support got sick and tired of answering support cases of when people hitting something they weren't able to access. Yeah, it wasn't unlimited, could do it, yeah. I don't see why they put so many restrictions on it now. I can't really see how that's a feature you can abuse, in my opinion, but might miss something. Oh, it took you 3 or 4 summons, yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why they limited that now, so you can only summon it once. Boxes has been opened. Angelic, bring adjusted. Someone's happy right now, I guess. Guess he's probably sad that it wasn't a better ring. It normally comes with the whole boxing territory. Always want more. I guess that's a general thing for this universe. I do it myself. If I hit something nice, I wanted something with better markup on it. Because a real rock and roller wants the fucking lot, doesn't he? How I last each amp for so long with just one finder, please. It lasts the amount of time it lasts. I don't do double drops, so obviously that extends the amp for twice as long. So basically, well, obviously right now I'm running unamped on the ore finder. But basically when you see me on equipping an amp, if I have an amp on each finder, it lasted for 2 amps because I use basically 2 amps because I have one on each finder. So I have one amplifier. Let's say I don't have any level 5 amplifier on here, but for the sake of the logic behind it, I have one amplifier on the TerraMaster and one on the Z20. And then I also have one on the DSEC. So if I bring in the DSEC into the mix there, basically I use 3 different amplifiers on one area. So that's probably why it might seem to the stream like it's lasting for a very long time and I'm not burning down amps as fast as one might think. It's basically because I have a lot of different amplifiers, a lot of different finders. So it gives a bit of a visual deception. Covers a lot of depth, exactly. So I cover 1000 meters average search depth with the TerraMaster. I cover 550 meters with the Z20 and 820 with the L30 finder. So basically I'm covering, to my best knowledge at least, everything from 1000 to 500, which is, in my opinion, the range that are really viable in this area here. I go deep for ores and I go shallow for emitters. Bit of canary in there. Which is also why every time there's a new miner here asking how to really get started, obviously mining matters because you don't need the Z20 finder here. Probably just takes, yeah, recommended level 5. So basically at level 7 you can start using this one. At a 7-8 level 7-8 you can start using this one and mine as an Uber miner basically. Straken, the most skilled miner I know in game at least, besides all the chip eaters. But he's still massively skilled. I think he's like level 90. What he said it here on stream when he was on. He was like level 91, 92 in mining. He still uses the F105 finder an awful lot. So yeah. Yeah, it is awesome. Goddamn, yeah. Just imagine, and it's like he hasn't, like, he's probably soul skills if he have anything. He's just mined extensively for the last 16 years. Yeah, that man is such a beast when it comes to mining. And yeah. You've been jealous of my mining skills. Well, obviously they're higher than the average, but like there's plenty of people out there who match my skills. I think pretty much everyone in our society, well, are at least close. So yeah, it's obviously it's taken a long time, but as I said, I do a lot of on-amp mining and I don't use big amplifiers, so obviously it takes time. But yeah, I've been jealous of your hunting skills, Joe. I can say that for sure. But then again, I don't hunt much, so. But they just wouldn't be. It would be nice to be tough on the health points, be passing that 250 health point mark. I honestly think if I was to invest in this game, let's say I just joined and I was willing to invest in a significant amount of money into the game, I probably wouldn't buy some very expensive unlimited items. I probably would buy a lot of skills to maybe level 95 or something in hunting, and then buy up the limited weapons for that skill level, because it seems a lot of the weapons on high level skills that takes high level skills have really low markup. So if you have like the Armatrix BL 120 or Armatrix BL 100 or whatever that takes 90 level skill level 90, they maybe have 103% markup on it. But if you go down to something like the Armatrix level 60 or something that hits the range that a lot of people are at, it goes up in price maybe 110, 115%. But you can really get some cool guns once you get up there at your skill level. You just need one more profession level in evade and you get quickness. Quickness is a kind of a dream level for me as well. Also because evade is really one of those skills that it really gives you something. It gives you the ability to kill mobs faster because you're not getting hit as much. It decreases your overall loss, basically, your overall spending on each run, because you don't get hit as much, you don't need to use the first aid pack as much, you don't need to repair your armor as much. Basically, evading levels are just such a powerhouse when it comes to mining. It's really important. I don't really know what level I am in evading, but I'm not that proficient in hunting. Oh, I'm actually level 40, so that's okay. What is it? Quickness is at level 60? Level 60 evader. Quickness is at level 55 evader. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And they go so slow evading skills. The only reason for me actually having a bit of evade was because I just hit the tail end of the back when you could skill fapping. So you basically, I had an adjusted first aid pack, which was pretty good back then. And so you could stand there being hit all night, just have an auto clicker on, and you just stood there while you slept at night and heal yourself while you got hit by mobs. Back then there was no cap, so today if I was to do the same, the mob will stop giving me skills after maybe 1 or 2 minutes of standing there. But back then there wasn't that kind of cap on, so you would just stand all night and fap. Get free skills. Not free skills, but very cheap skills and very important skills. So that's probably why my evade is a little bit higher than it was actually meant to be. But I didn't do it for long. As I said, they changed the system shortly after I started. And the adjusted first aid pack wasn't the best. It was the first that was adjusted, improved and modified back then. That was the real first aid packs that you could do it with. There wasn't anything else. Otherwise you would just get wrecked on repair bills. The acid pools, that's right actually, yeah, those were there as well. You could stand there and healing yourself just by getting hit by acid. Yeah, they were... I believe I was using an acid pool actually all around Minopolis. I believe it was... Or was it over here? It was like this area up here, I believe. Yeah, it was out here. It was out here. I'm pretty sure it was out here in this area here. Something. Yeah, the Ubers were using mod Fapster. Yeah, the mod Fap, like everyone you see, James Jimmy Striker, Giertzen Smilga, D-Dre, Genestar Mercury, all those guys with like insane skills when it comes to first aid and evade, all those guys basically did that, and they just got a massive head start in the. Oh, we're way too far out here. Got a massive head start in the game. They all did it. Parker. I know him actually. I met him real life. Nice guy, real nice guy. Yeah, Lissy, Loser, all the Warrens guys back then. Out of all, they all did it. Owning a modified FAP back then was just the key to becoming Uber, basically. Yeah, and there was a, I believe it was up there by Monopolis, as you said, in Discord, where the acid pools was. I was when you came, like, I was just a noob. Well, I wouldn't say noob, but compared to those guys, I was definitely just a noob. And so I came out there with my just a fab, and there were these green dots all around the area. People were standing there all night, just healing themselves, getting hit by snable snots or whatever was there, small mobs. Because there was like these limited areas where you wouldn't get swarmed, because if you get swarmed and died at like 1 o'clock in the night, obviously you wouldn't get the full benefit of the time you were standing out there. So you needed to find the right area where you would get the right amount of damage that you were able to out heal, but you also wanted as much damage as possible that you were able to heal, so you needed to hit that balance there. And apparently, as I remember it, around Force Monopolis here was one of the best areas where you can find the right mob density to your, and you had people standing there just standing healing themselves all night. Yeah, that was someone else's claim. Yeah, up here behind us. I'm not too worried. Obviously our hit rate has gone down, but as I said, our composition of loot is really good. We still get Tephonic Steam in decent quantity, we get Gas and Grease, and we get a limited amount of Magirian Mist. Obviously it seems like we're starting to hit Magirian Mist, so there's a good chance that someone else has been through it here. We'll try a little longer, and we'll probably just continue our run here, because right now Chinook Jungle, I wouldn't say it's on fire, but it's definitely really good. You saw one guy sitting on the bottom of the acid pool. Yeah, it was the Wild West. Like everybody, obviously it wasn't an exploit, because Mindark didn't ban anyone who did it. But people were also trapping Arenia Throgs. Back then, our Arenia Throgs, the little spider thing that people hunt when at Youngs. Now I believe they're level 50. People can hunt them. I wouldn't say easily, but quite easily. Back then they only came in old alpha and up, old alpha to stalker, so basically no one could kill them. Back then damage was fixed as well, so they didn't have a damage range say from 50 to 150. They just did fixed damage range, which were like 200 or 150, 200 and 230 damage every single time, so nobody could kill them. It was virtually impossible, because back then nobody had that amount of health. The first one was Skalman. He got to 250 health as one of the first people in game. That just shows everybody had 200. If you hit 200 health back then, you were massively uber. But basically Arenia Throgs did like 230 damage, so very few people could kill him. But you just trapped them in a tree and you stood standing killing them with a man MPH or something. It was just the Wild West. Everybody was doing that. So you saw a guy sitting there in the bottom of the acid pool, and you got curious, and you wanted to take a closer look, and you just touched the acid and it killed you. Yeah, like Modfab was just such a massive difference to the way you played. You remember one guy who all-time high while trapping a spider? Yeah, I remember him. There was what was his name, Danny or something. I think it actually was a 70k. It was such a massive loot back then. Was it Nathan? Nathan knows Clan of Cyrus? I think it might be actually Nathan here. A Raging Obstructor. As I said, they only came in those big sizes and he hit that one. And he was just a noob. And he trapped one of those spiders standing there shooting it for like ages. Finally killed it and hit an all-time high. And the whole community was in an uproar how he abused the system and how it was unfair that he got that loot and stuff, and people were just going completely out of their minds. And everybody was doing it. All of those guys who got completely felt cheated about that probably stood around for weeks, if not months, just fapping themselves in the acid pool. It was kind of a bunch of hypocrites in my opinion. And Skalman, back then, the Uber guy, trapped Hoklos as well. Yeah. Yeah, wasn't it 2006 actually? Yeah, we can see the like that. That's right. Yeah, it was 2006, so that's it. Yeah, that was the guy, that was the one. I think actually this was the main reason for them implementing the unreachable. So now if you trap them up after you've done damage and it hasn't hit you for a while, it becomes unreachable and you can't damage it anymore. This was the HOF, this was the main reason for that system to get implemented. So I took a note there. I'll add that point on, as you know, I started uploading the videos to YouTube, so because I think the playback experience on YouTube is a lot better than on Twitch. And I'm trying to put in point of interests into the videos, so not everyone is going to sit there and watch a 3 or 4 or 6 or 7 hour stream. So I'm trying to put in point of interest into those videos so you can easily navigate them and find whatever you want to watch. So when we have like this, some like story times like this where we talk about old days, I'll put in a point of interest saying why are mobs unreachable, and you can see that. If we hit a Hall of Fame, I'll put in that so you can easily find it and see what we find. If we find some actually I'm not gonna mine this area, there's too much tax in it. If we find some rare resources, I put that as a point of interest as well, so you can go through my videos if you want and see what places are good to mine and what places are not good to mine, to make it a bit more, yeah. At that time when he hit that Arania trucks, you were hunting a lot and you were not happy seeing him hitting that. No, I can definitely see why you were not a happy bunny. I felt exactly the same way when someone new came into the game and hits a big mining loot. I felt the same way. I felt the same way with the exploiting of the level 13 blocks. I guess it's a natural feeling when you kind of play by the rules, even though you might have at some point exploited. I will say though, and I will say that with great honesty, besides me doing the fapping back then, and I used an auto clicker to skill on mechanical blueprints, I've been a straight shooter. I never exploited the game in any way that could get my avatar banned. And I will encourage people to to stick within the rules and report if you find something, because basically what you gotta remember is it's unsustainable for the universe. It will break the economy eventually, and it will basically erode the very foundation that we're all relying on. You play straight too, I know that. You play straight as an arrow. Man, I never forget how you were able to just grind through the game. It's amazing. I feel quite privileged meeting you in the wilderness back then. What a coincidence. Yeah, mind dog are watching. Yeah, as I said, one thing is you can get your avatar banned. You can suddenly get a lot of progress erased with a single click of a button in Sweden. But also, as I said, it kind of like it erodes the universe. It destroys the economy. It bends the economy to certain lengths, and at some point they might not be able to fix it and bring it back. Oh, no, I got it. Sometimes when you switch too fast from excavator to finder, it doesn't actually commit the pull command. So even though the progress bar here runs all the way to the top, it might not pull the resource if you switch too fast. No dot on radar, just got heals. That's weird. You even had a mind official watching you in an instance once. No dot on radar, just got heals from nowhere. That's weird. Yeah, I've heard about the mind officials being in game. Personally, I've never seen them unless they were like providing in-game support in a major city. I've never met them out in the wilderness. Or in an instance for them, and I don't think I've actually been in an instance myself ever. I've never been much of a hunter. I like mining. Obviously I kill the occasional mob, and sometimes if I get burned out on mining for some reason I do a bit of hunting, but it's not much. Oh, great. What was it? Belcar? We're gonna drill that later. 92 pet. It's funny how we hit that on amp, right? And we mine with a level 5 amplifier on the other one. Thank you for the grats. You can go eat now. You got your fix. Yeah, I'm glad to be able to provide. I'm the breadwinner here. I really think it's kind of goes to show how you get what you're gonna get, right? It is the unamped one we hit the global with. Yep, system is smart these days. Too smart. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's no forcing it. But I think this run is gonna be pretty good. Obviously, return-wise, we have burned a bit on amps, so looking from base value returns TT, I don't think we'll make a profit TT-wise, but due to finding quite a lot of gas and grease, Chiffonic steam and cave sap, bit of rhyolite, bit of canarium, I think we're gonna do okay. You got a small tower once doing that. Yeah, what was your first thought? I bet your first thought was, why didn't I put on an amplifier? It would have been even bigger, right? I tend to get those thoughts at least. It's not as bad as it used to be. No, you just think you did that once to target Ignesium, and Foma knew it, so you got iron instead. Yeah, I was just thinking one Ignesium. I get those still. I still get those when I hit a Hoff. But I think that's completely random. Which, well, it isn't. Obviously, it isn't random per se, because there are some things that loot more frequently than others. But I still get that. Like when we hit that 1000 pet Blauserium, I was like, why couldn't it be Sanarium instead? But yeah, you can't let that affect you. Or why couldn't I hit it outside the text area? Like, as I said, a real rock and roller, he wants the lot. So you always want a little more. It's human nature, I guess it is, isn't it? It's where greed comes from. But it's also what drives us forward, makes us persistent in trying to chase, make the best of it.
little perception here. Maybe there's something more in the ground. Oh, I'm always a bit more excited when I see a perception gain. I'm always like, oh, it's searching. What's gonna come of it? Might be bigger. Back in the day, personally, I believe at least, and I'm pretty sure it was that way. So when you got a perception skill gain, it was related to the bigger deposit being nearby. Back then there was a lot more veins and stuff, and you can really find a lot of claims in a row. And very often when you got a perception gain, you could hit a large or considerable or something, a bigger claim close by. But there was no amplifiers back then, so basically it was the base value that was a lot higher. Right on topic, NASA is planning to go back to the moon within 5 years, want to build a space station there. Oh, yeah, well, I think it's great for science. Trying to expand boundaries and those kind of things really help get the funds into science. I think that's quite good. I don't think there's anything specific on the moon to be gained, so it's obviously a scientific venture. Also gives us perspective on our existence, doesn't it? I think it's a good idea. Obviously, if it's being done out of someone want to gain some dick swinging value, kind of simplifies it a bit and takes something away from it, but the venture on its own is a good idea. But I guess back in the 60s when it was being done, it was the whole dick swinging thing as well. Am I allowed to say dick on stream actually? Well, I'll probably find out if I get banned. I think they want to construct ships up there. Really? Oh, that might be a good idea. Probably need some kind of jump up. Leaving Earth's gravity is a very energy costing maneuver. It takes a lot to escape the gravity and the atmosphere. But probably if you want to travel further into space, you'll need to really launch from outside the atmosphere, because you'll need bigger ships that can't really escape the. I guess I'm not a scientist. My specialty is public administration and economy. But yeah, from a layman's terms of view, it makes sense. As most cost in fuel breaking our atmosphere, yeah. And as it's pretty exciting. I like that. I think the whole space race back in the 60s wasn't I don't think that was a negative thing. Obviously the reasons for people engaging in it was pretty damn stupid. Just someone to brag about and trying to force the Soviet Union into its knees on financial. But from a science point of view, it makes sense, doesn't it? In university, I studied history. I needed a extra curriculum, so I had history. For one semester, and I had what's it called, anthropology. Both of them I did in Russia, and I did it on the Soviet Union. And, the anthropology one I did on Soviet cultural in the village, in the rural areas. It's quite interesting. And on history I did on the Soviet Union's collapse and how the week up to the collapse was, and what was really what made it break up, because obviously Gorbachev didn't want the Soviet Union to break up. That was not his point. He loved communism. But what made it break up was basically he lost political support from the Central Council, and that was mainly due to they didn't have the resource simply to hold the Soviet Union together. They didn't have the money to send out the troops. They didn't have the money to really force the submission, and that was basically the space race and the arms race that made the economy collapse. And suddenly they lost the opportunity. They lost the ability to act once the satellite states starting to pull political support for the Central Committee. It's quite interesting. Sign me up to go to space. Yeah, why not? I don't think there's internet up there, so I'm not sure I would feel comfortable in a tin can for a couple of years. Rubber banding will be epic though. Now mining is actually pretty good. I know base value wise, TT wise, we're running below expected. We're losing money in base value right now. But I would say when it comes to markup, we're definitely doing very well. And whatever we lose now will come back later. So technically losing money in the eyes of MineNarc right now, while we are still gaining a little, is just amazing. That means once we will start getting that back, we'll make some serious pet. It's very interesting. Yes, I've seen a program on TV about the space race. Yeah, obviously it was great for domestic politics as well. Summed up great. A lot of support for Kennedy, who was running it back then. But it had the very positive byproduct in the eyes of the US, at least. It forced the Soviet Union to do the same. But obviously they were ahead actually with the whole Lycan. What was his name? I can't remember. Putting the first man into orbit and stuff like that. But the US to really put on the boost there and heading to the moon as the first, and having the massive head start in the media, being able to transmit how they won and how they really were ahead in the space race, really gave them a lot. It was interesting, and it
pretty much helped bankrupt the Soviet Union. If the Soviet Union hadn't collapsed when it did, they would have gone bankrupt anyways. People wouldn't lend them money anymore. They got a lot of loans from the World Bank. And the World Bank basically was at a point where they wouldn't loan them any more money. So if the Soviet Union hadn't collapsed by all the satellite states breaking down the wall, the singing revolution in this, was it Estonia, and all those kind of things, if that hadn't happened, if the Soviet Union hadn't broken up because of that, it would basically just break. It would have broke down due to not being able to pay its military, not being able to pay its civil servants, stuff like that. Yeah, Rigella. I'm not really familiar with that one. Guys, I want to appreciate you all for being here. It is amazing. Unfortunately, I will have to leave now as I have some real life stuff I need to take care of. Thank you all for being here. If you want to follow the journey here of the bankroll challenge, see how we do, come in once in a while, hang out, have a chat, please follow the channel, and we can see if we can build something here in Entropia. I appreciate you all for being here. I will hunt Mison TV. I will host Mison TV. So if you want to feel like staying on Twitch for a while, consider staying here and watch his channel a bit. Oh well, that puts a natural into the run. I forgot I had no armor on. Well, this armor is just for the speed boost. It has pretty much no protection. The interest grows. Thanks a lot for being here. Gixer, thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate it, guys. I will host Mison now. Take care of yourself. Take care of your bankroll, and hopefully I'll see you later. Let me just find him here. Oh, I always misspell it. C before S. There we go. Mison TV. Guys, take care. I think he's a fun guy. Be kind to him. Later.
The world has stolen from me my whole life. Maybe I have this taste. I steal some.